Before we begin our service today, we acknowledge that we are gathering upon the homeland of the Western Abenaki peoples. We express gratitude for their traditional and ongoing stewardship of the lands and waters, and we offer respect to the elders, both past and present. Good morning. I'm Margot Prendergast, your worship associate this morning. My pronouns are she, her. On behalf of the entire worship team, I am delighted to welcome all of you, those of you in the sanctuary and those of you watching in the live stream. Thank you for joining us in this time of worship. We deeply appreciate your presence and fellowship as part of our beloved Unitarian Church of Montpelier. For over 155 years, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking both spiritual sustenance and peace and justice in the world. With you, we continue today on that path. Please know that you can also listen to and watch the service in the fireplace room downstairs if you wish to leave the sanctuary for any reason. It's always a pleasure to have newcomers and guests join us for worship. If this is your first or second time visiting, and you feel comfortable doing so, you are invited to stand or wave hello at this time so we may offer you a special welcome. Thank you. We're glad you're here. Any of you who are newcomers to our congregation and worship service are invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry during coffee hour so that we can connect with you more fully. We would love to have you join us for coffee hour immediately following the service to offer you a more personal welcome. Now, we can all join in the welcoming by taking a few moments to turn to your neighbor in the pews and share a few words of greetings. Okay. Thank you for sharing these warm greetings. Woo! Shall we just head down now to coffee hour? You are invited to continue your conversations downstairs after the service. Here are a few other ways that you can connect with others and take part in the life of our community. Our dedicated Elevette operator, Peter Toms, would welcome new volunteers to learn the role. If you are willing and able, please come to UCM early, about 9:15, any upcoming Sunday, to shadow Peter and learn how our wonderful little Elevette operates. Next Sunday is New Member Sunday. If you have recently transferred to UCM from another UU home or have completed our Pathways to Membership program and are ready to sign the membership book, visit the hospitality table or contact Elaine Ball to let us know. We would love to welcome you as a new member. On Sunday, November 20th at 3 p.m., UCM will host and participate in an interfaith service in collaboration with other local faith communities. You are invited to attend and get to know our neighbors across our faith traditions. Please consult the weekly e-news to learn about other ways you can connect and serve in our community. And now, let's take a deep breath, make sure our cell phones are silenced, and enter more deeply into our time of worship with the Prelude by local composer Luc Robillard.
I invite you to join me in these responsive opening words by Tet Gallardo. Your response is, when I change, the world changes. We are here to derive meaning in our actions. When I change, the world changes. We are here to win our power back over areas of powerlessness. We are here to abolish prejudice with an appreciation for our diversity and differences. When I change, the world changes. We are here to feel our capacity to affect the lives of other people. When I change, the world changes. We are here to become teachers to each other. I am here to see my singular life is a gateway to countless possibilities. When I change, the world changes. And let us join in our opening hymn. It's number 347 in the gray hymnal, Gather the Spirit. Please rise in body or spirit.
Let us now light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we welcome Amy and Ashley Sweet and Bailey to light the chalice. As they do, I invite you to light a chalice at home if you have one nearby. Here today, in this place, and with these people, may we listen so we can hear. May we hear so we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way. Words from Eric Walker Wickstrom. Thank you. Please join now in saying our congregational covenant. Here we go. We covenant to speak honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world. And forgive each other and start again.
At this time, I'd like to invite children between pre-K and up to middle school to join me for some religious education activities through this door in our children's chapel. And I invite the congregation to join in singing our children's parting song as you go.
Julie Bond will join us now to introduce this month's Community Pouch recipient, the Good Samaritan Haven.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see so many familiar faces and new faces out there. I've been away for a very long time, and it's wonderful to be back. So my name is Julie Bond, and in addition to being part of the UCM community, I serve as the co-executive director of Good Samaritan Haven, Homeless Shelter Network. And UCM has been a steadfast partner of Good Sam over the years and graciously chose the Good Samaritan Haven as the Community Pouch recipient for November, which also happens to be National Homelessness Awareness Month. So for those unfamiliar, Good Samaritan Haven provides emergency shelter to those experiencing homelessness in and around Washington County. We have shelter locations in Barry City and Barry Town, and our newest central campus in Berlin, called the Welcome Center. We have 70 shelter beds. which are currently all full. We also support 80-plus guests at the Hilltop Motel in Berlin, and we have a street outreach team that supports over 100 people who are currently living outdoors in the 3 surrounding towns. That bears repeating. There are over 100 people currently unhoused in the woods near you. And despite the unseasonably warm weekend, winter is nipping at our heels. With this opening of the Welcome Center, we're able to double our capacity, but we're still feeling the challenges of scaling our services. It's really complex work. And it's wonderful to have increased the capacity for our unhoused neighbors, but it's at the same time, there's just much more demand for the shelter and affordable housing that continues to outpace our facilities and our staffing. But this is where people who are seeking meaning, justice, and change come in, and that's you, to make a difference. The donations through the community pouch make a direct impact in ensuring that we can fully staff and operate these shelter locations. We'd love to reconnect with UCM in volunteer capacities as we all reemerge over these last couple of years. In several ways, making meals, serving as a mentor for individual guests of ours, serving as volunteers to help us clean and manage the buildings and facilities that we have. Those are all very important things that we'd love connection and volunteerism and help with. So I'm happy to connect with folks after the service and answer any questions. And thanks for your gifts through the community pouch this month. It's really very, very appreciated. Your dollars and actions, just like your votes on Tuesday, are how we make a difference in this world. Thanks.
The act of giving is a spiritual practice as important as any other element in our shared time of worship. Our generosity is a form of love. Our gifts freely given help us to practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation. Each month, through the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with, this month, Good Samaritan Haven. Half of our cash offerings will go to the Good Samaritan Haven. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of our congregation. If you wish to designate your entire offering to the community pouch, please indicate that with a note attached to your cash or in the memo line of your check. Checks will go to the church unless designated otherwise. You can find the offering pouch at the end of the pews on the side aisles. Please pass them towards the center aisle. You can also make a financial contribution by donating online. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now be gratefully received.
Be the change.
invite you to enter more deeply into our time of meditation and prayer, to notice how it feels to be in your body in this moment and with your breath. To notice where you may be feeling some lightness and exuberance and energy, where you might be feeling heavier, more tension, feeling some weight on your shoulders. And I invite you to just take a breath into all of those spaces, with your breath offering yourself compassion, bringing in the love that surrounds us and that moves among us and is held within us. In this diverse community, there are many joys, sorrows, trials, and triumphs that move throughout our community at any given time. And all of these are held with love. I offer you these words of meditation by Maureen Caloran. Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory, the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Holy are the places of the dream, the places over the rainbow where all children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of the dream. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast, and we hold on and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole making is this place. And let us join now in a time of quiet meditation together. This is a reading by Mark Bellatini called Election Promises. I hear the polls are going to be open on Tuesday, all day. Good. I certainly intend to go to them. I certainly invite you to go to them and vote, too. But today I say the polls are not just open on Tuesday. I say they are open every day, every hour, even here, even now. Right now, I am going to vote for the robin's egg sky, the vanilla clouds, the purple's shadow spreading under the ginkgo tree. I am going to vote for tulips and redbuds. I am going to vote for love that does not have to run in someone else's circles in order to be love. I'm going to vote the homeless into homes. I'm going to vote the uneducated into classrooms that teach them in the way they learn best, not the way that would be most convenient. I'm going to vote the sick into healing. I'm going to vote the lost into belonging. I'm going to vote right now for the right to dream of a world where the word politics doesn't stop me in my tracks, and where the word honor still has a few good meanings left. I'm going to vote right now for the power of free people to actually be free, no matter who they are, no matter who has abandoned them, no matter who hates them. I actually am going to vote for love. I'm going to vote for truthfulness as the norm, not the exception. I'm going to vote for a world that doesn't vote for killing, control, and swagger. I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for me. Right now, right here, silently, but for real. I met with a small group in the church recently, and in introducing ourselves, we each responded to the prompt, "How's the weather?" Meaning, how's the weather inside, the weather of our hearts and spirits? More than one person described their weather as unsettled. Perhaps you can relate. The winds and gales of change swirl all around on so many fronts. It is an unsettling and unsettled time. Personal upheaval and change abounds. The death of loved ones, new diagnoses, unstable housing and employment, beginning new life stages without any clear roadmap for the path ahead. And on the societal level, change is afoot as well. We continue to feel the impacts of the pandemic, even though we may be trying to resume as much of our lives as possible that existed before its start. Extreme weather and altered weather patterns are disrupting lives around the globe, and much hangs in the balance as we approach Election Day. Much of this change, personal and societal, is disruptive, and yet some of this change is also positive. New relationships that are flourishing, new work that is enjoyable, renewed efforts and victories for collective worker organizing, an increased appreciation for and honoring of Indigenous voices and perspectives. For the most part, it is yet to be determined what the outcome of all of this change will be. The uncertainty can be unnerving, and it's also where there is great possibility. The Zen priest, Reverend Angel Kyoto Williams, has said, "There is something dying in our society, in our culture, and there's something dying in us individually. And what is dying, I think, is the willingness to be in denial. And that is extraordinary. It's always been happening, and when it happens in enough of us, in a short enough period of time at the same time, then you have a tipping point, and the culture begins to shift." There are many among us who are no longer willing to deny what is broken, the ways that inequality and disparities have grown, the instability of the planet's climate and destruction of ecosystems and habitats, the profound disconnection and alienation we have from one another that leads to hateful acts and violence. We are in this shifting time, moving our collective weight forward, making our way from what was into what can be, what will be. What I find exciting about this time is that the magnitude of the change that we seek is so much greater than the smallness of our politics in its current state. At its best, I believe that Unitarian Universalism points us towards a transforming change that levels power, change that negates the status of wealth as the key to accessing education or a home or care for the body, change that guides us back to care for the earth and all of our kin of all species. This kind of change runs counter to the current dominating narratives of how we relate to one another and our planet. That is a story of scarcity, of go-it-alone individualism, and of dominion over the earth. Our vision for change is not served by holding on to those old stories. The economist David Korten puts it this way: "At present, we live in the grip of a deeply flawed story. To change the situation, we must find our way to an authentic narrative. We need a story informed by traditional wisdom, the world's great religious traditions, and the leading edge of science. We are part of shaping and articulating this authentic narrative, bringing forward our theologies of belonging and interdependence as our guides. We must dream big and continue pointing to a future in which life flourishes and thrives." What does this future look like to you? What is that future of your greatest hope and longing? In 2015, the Parliament of World Religions issued a declaration on climate change that I find incredibly inspiring. Part of it states, "The future we embrace will be a new ecological civilization and a world of peace, justice, and sustainability, with the flourishing of the diversity of life. We will build this future as one human family within the greater Earth community." This kind of transformative change doesn't usually happen all at once. It happens over time and with continuous engagement and continually reminding one another of the kind of world we want to live in and create together. One election or one campaign is just a small part of a greater change that fulfills our most audacious hopes and dreams. And I know that this kind of change can feel daunting, but it helps to remind ourselves that we do not do it alone, and we don't do it all at once. There is power in remembering that we are the ones who make change possible. The artist Jan Phillips writes, "We are attendants at the wake of the old way, and each of us, through our actions, our thoughts, our work and relationships, is midwifing a new world into existence. It is an illusion that we are powerless. It is an illusion that someone else is responsible. We are the people. This is our world." We are the people, and there is a role for each of us. The social change leader, Deepa Iyer, describes the network of people engaged together in making change as an ecosystem. She maps out 10 different roles that people take on in any social change ecosystem. There is a role for the weavers, who see connections between people, places, and ideas. There are the experimenters who innovate and take risks. There are frontline responders who marshal resources to address community crises. There is a role for the visionaries who imagine our boldest possibilities and remind us of our direction. There are the builders who organize and implement the practices needed to carry out a collective vision. There are the caregivers who sustain care, joy, and connection in the community. There is a role for the disruptors who shake up the status quo to raise awareness and build power. There are the healers who tend to the traumas caused by harmful systems and policies. There are the storytellers who craft and share community stories and culture through the arts. And there are the guides who teach and counsel using their gifts of discernment and wisdom. In this community, we are blessed to have a diversity of gifts, with people taking on each and every one of these roles, sometimes multiple roles at one time. Here with others like you in some ways and different from you in other ways, you offer care and nurture joy across the lifespan of ages. You share music and stories and ritual. You mentor others and share wisdom. You plan and organize and get the work done that needs to be done. Our engagement is our witness to the longing of our souls for a world changed and transformed. We must continue to call people toward the world as it should be, a world transformed by love until the planet and its people are made whole. We must stretch our imaginations beyond all that seems lost in the present to what is yet to be born, to that time and that place where love has quieted the inciting shouts of the mob and has drawn together those who once saw themselves as enemies, to that time and that place where we live in mutuality and reciprocity with the earth, giving and receiving, caring and being cared for. We are the change that we wish to see, and we make it so with our acts of kindness, our acts of solidarity, and our acts of truth-telling. Together, these actions tell a story that is not yet complete, but that is longed for in the deepest part of our souls. And so, in the days ahead, let us vote the homeless into homes, the sick into healing, the lost into belonging, not only on Tuesday, but every day, and not only with ballots, but with the bravery of each small act that together form the magnitude of the change that we seek, a transformative change rooted in love. So may it be. And let us join in our closing hymn, number 131, in the gray hymnal, Love Will Guide Us. Please rise and body your spirit.
Love will guide us, Jesus guide us, all inside us, will lead the way, on the road from reaching healing. Love will guide us through our life. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak for thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love guide us, Jesus guide us, all inside us, lead the way, on the road from reaching healing. Love will guide us through the hard life.
As we close our service, we extinguish our chalice and carry with us the flame of truth, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead. And as we do so, let us say together our mission statement, just found in your order of service. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home. May you go from here renewed in spirit and strengthened for the days ahead. May you hold fast to the love that moves us toward transformation, and may you be the change you wish to see and the change the world needs. We conclude our service with the postlude.